All right, so I'm live. End of the year. I wanted to give you something that I have been saying pretty much to everybody all year round. So it is always my catchphrase. It's going to be in the book. The book is going to be called Stress Box. But inside the book, I want to give you this for food for thought for right now. It's the 2080 rule. Okay. Not to be confused with the 80/20 rule that is usually used for dieting or for dating. Now, if you're not familiar with the 80/20 rule, I'll give you the one for dating. Say someone is got someone significant other in their life, and they go their everything. You could go down their checklist. They got everything. They got a job. They're honest. They're there all the time. They're attentive. They're not boring. They're giving you all of what you need. They love you. All of that. And you know, it's not the 80% that is exciting to the other person who's still pondering about what could have happened or what could have been. So they tend to break up their relationship or jeopardize their good thing or their good relationship with the 20% that they don't have. So they'll go for someone who doesn't have 80% of what they want, but is that 20% that's exciting. So they jeopardize 80% for the 20%. Well, this is not that rule. The 2080 rule is quite simple. If you offer your advice, counsel, or sound knowledge, people will typically follow the 2080 rule. Like I said, not to be confused with the 80/20 rule. Okay. That's used for dating or dieting. But basically, you have a 20% chance of the following to occur. One, people will hear you in airplane mode. Your words will travel in one ear and out the other. Number two, people will take your advice and put it on a 7-day trial. They'll listen for a minute and they'll even try your advice. They'll try whatever you told them to resolve their problem. But usually they revert back to the same problem that they had in the first place. And then they'll come back to you asking you to help resolve the same issue again. Finally, we hope that they get to the promised land, which is where I hope everybody gets, which is I hope they employ the advice. That means put it to action, take some action, and it becomes a habit. But usually that is going to be put on a probationary period, 90 to 120 days, just like a regular job. That habit has got to be repeated consecutively 90 to 120 times in order for it to become a habit. So it's going to take that while for that knowledge to become wisdom. Knowledge is just information. It's wisdom when you start to use it, i.e., tie your shoes, i.e., go ahead and brush your teeth so you don't have to visit the dentist, brush your teeth and floss. You're going to get those advices all the time. Buckle your seatbelt, all that stuff. Because there's a reason you have that information to save your life or to save your health or whatever it may be. In this case, you're giving them sound advice that you know has worked. And you hope that they fall within that 20%, but that's not what happens. Usually it's the 80%. And 80% of the time, people are going to do what they want to do. Now, take a tip from me. Once you've given an adult the information, the responsibility is on them. So don't fall for the trap of, can you tell me that again? Because if you fall for the old comeback and repeating yourself, you know how the old saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Well, if you tread down that path of giving them the advice the second time, I got another acronym for you. And it's basically C4. Because you giving that advice is going to blow up in your face. C4, it stands for people tend to fall in one of these C's when you give them advice twice. They complain. They become complacent. They criticize. Or they complicate the whole everything that you said. That's not what I said. They take what you said and turn it into something else. So don't fall for the okie doke. Remember the 20/80 rule. And if you don't remember, replay this again. Have a happy new year.